A few weeks ago, I put out a video about the IAM roadmap for beginners, and it became a very popular video that seemed to resonate with a lot of you. Now, a roadmap tells you what to learn, but it doesn't necessarily tell you how to get hired. So after 15 years of recruiting, I can tell you that those two things are very different problems. So in this video, it's the missing half, if you like. Now, not what IAM is, not what to study, that's in the roadmap, but how people with no cyber experience actually land identity and access management jobs. The exact job titles to search, because most of these roles are invisible if you only search cybersecurity. I'll talk to you about what hiring managers expect from a beginner, which is less than you think in some areas and more than you think in others. We'll talk about the 3 projects that prove you can do the work, and the interview questions I've watched candidates win and lose on. So if you're starting from zero, or you're coming from help desk, HR, or admin work, this is the closest thing to a cheat sheet I can give you. Let's get into it. Hey everyone, if you're new here, welcome. My name's Luke. I'm a cybersecurity recruiter and career coach. If you're not new here, welcome back. And remember, hit subscribe if you haven't already and you find my content useful. It really helps the channel out. Let's get started. Why IAM teams hire beginners? Well, first, why does this door open for beginners when the SOC door mostly doesn't? There's 3 reasons, and they all come from the hiring side of the desk. Number 1, volume of work. Now, every company above a certain size has an identity problem every single day. People join, people change roles, people leave. So every one of those events is access that has to be granted, changed, or removed. Now, that work never stops, and a lot of it is process work that a smart beginner can be trained to do. A SOC needs people who can make judgment calls on live threats. An AIM team needs people who can run a process accurately. They can chase approvals, they can document what they did. So one of those is much easier to hire a beginner into. Secondly, nobody applies. When I post a SOC analyst role, the applications flood in, honestly. When I post an IAM analyst role, the list is a fraction of that. And half the people applying don't know what IAM actually stands for. The competition problem that crushes beginners in SOC barely exists here, and that's a big reason why you should look at this field. And 3, soft skills count double. IAM sits between IT, HR, security, and auditors. You're chasing managers for access, for approvals. You have to be able to speak clearly and communicate well. You're explaining to someone why they can't keep admin rights they've had for 5 years. If you can communicate that well, that's a real qualification in IAM, and it's one career changes usually already have. Now, quick reality check, because I promised you the recruiter's answer, not the salesman. So experience doesn't mean no evidence. You do still have to prove you can do the work. The rest of this video is how you build that evidence. So let's talk about the job titles nobody searches for. Now, if you watch my IAM roadmap video, if you haven't, I'll link it below. You already know a few of these titles, and I'll recap them fast, but then I'm giving you the layer I didn't cover in that video. The searchers recruiters actually write jobs ads around, because that's where the competition thins out. So let's quickly go through the titles first. You have IAM Analyst, Identity Analyst, Identity and Access Management Analyst. You have Access Management Officer, Access Administrator, Identity Governance Analyst, sometimes listed as IGA Analyst. You have IAM Support, Security Administrator, because in mid-sized companies, that role is often 70% identity work and user access analysts. Then do a second pass and search by tool name instead of just job title. So look for Okta, SailPoint, CyberArk, Entra, Active Directory. Recruiters write job ads around the tools they need. So SailPoint analyst ads exist that will never show up under a cybersecurity search. And that's something I know a lot of you do. Quite rightly, I understand you'll search cybersecurity or cybersecurity analysts. Those roles will come up, but you might miss or skip roles such as IAM. And here's one more. Search joiner, mover, leaver as a phrase. It's the beating heart of IAM operations. It shows up in job descriptions and nobody searches for it. If a job ad mentions JML, they're describing exactly the kind of process role a beginner can win. Set alerts on all of these. This is the difference between there are no entry-level cyber jobs and a list of roles with 30 applicants instead of 300. Okay, next up, what entry-level IAM actually expects. So what does the hiring manager expect you to walk in with? Now, here's the honest bar. You need to understand the identity lifecycle. joiners, movers, leavers, and why each one matters. Now, the joiner needs the right access on day one. The mover is the dangerous one because people change roles to keep their old access, and that builds up in what we call privilege creep. The leaver is the audit finding waiting to happen because an account that should have been disabled and wasn't is one of the easiest ways companies get breached. You need working familiarity with at least one directory. Now, Active Directory or Microsoft Entra ID, not expert level. Can you create a user? Can you manage group memberships? Can you understand what a security group does? That kind of level. You need the core concepts cold. Least privilege, role-based access control, MFA, SSO, and what an access review is. And you need to be someone who documents things. Always document. IAM is evidence-driven work because auditors will ask for proof. So if you're naturally organized, say so and be ready to show it. What you don't need at this level is coding, penetration testing, a degree, or 5 certifications. You don't need them. Scripting matters later if you head toward IAM engineering, but I have never had a hiring manager reject a junior IAM analyst for not knowing how to code. I just haven't seen it. Let's talk about some projects now. What each project proves to a hiring manager and how to present it. Now, the proof of work in the roadmap video, I named 3 projects, and I'm going to repeat the build steps here. So if you want to build the full click-by-click builds, that's a dedicated video coming in a few weeks. The goal here isn't a lab. It's the write-up you show in applications and interviews. So project 1, run the identity lifecycle yourself in a free Entra ID tenant or home lab. Onboard a fictional starter, move them between departments, offboard them, and document every access change along the way. Now, why do this? Well, it proves you understand joiner, mover, leaver, which is the beating heart of the job. And how to present it, a 1-page process document written the way real IAM teams would write it. Steps that include screenshots, and 1 line per step on why it matters for risk. So when a hiring manager reads that page, you can stop being a course taker and become someone who has already done the work. Project number 2, SSO and MFA with a free Okta tenant. So this time it's hands-on with a commercial IAM platform. Now, Okta gives you a free developer tenant. Connect a couple of apps with single sign-on and set up MFA policies. If your local job ads skew Microsoft, then use Entra ID conditional access instead. Let the job ads pick your tool, and that's how a recruiter would do it. This proves I have hands-on Okta experience in my own tenant. It puts you ahead of every applicant who has only read about it. And to present it, I would recommend doing a short write-up covering what you connected, what broke, and what you do differently next time. The what broke part is the credibility. Real work never goes smoothly, and hiring managers know that. On to project 3. Run a mock access review. So the one almost nobody does is a mock access review, and I don't know why. Do a simple spreadsheet of users, systems, and current access versus what each role actually needs, and then find the problems that you planted. So the leaver with a live account, the mover with stale permissions, or the shared admin login nobody owns. This proves identity governance thinking, which is what IGA analysts do all day. I want you to present it like findings written like an analyst writes them. Issue, risk, recommendation. A beginner who shows up with this is speaking the hiring manager's language before the interview even starts. Now, once you've done that, I want you to put all 3 write-ups somewhere linkable. A portfolio site, personal website, GitHub, even a tidy Google Drive. It doesn't really matter as long as you document it. Linkable proof beats claims every single time. And the full step-by-step builds for all 3 are coming in a dedicated portfolio video soon, so keep your eyes open for that. Today was the what and the why. The video will be the how. Now, I want to talk now about repackaging the experience you already have. Now, if you're a career changer, you likely will have IAM experience already, you just don't know it. Help desk, password resets, account lockouts, setting up new starters, offboarding leavers. That's literally IAM operations. On your resume, that shouldn't say resolved user tickets. It should say provisioned and deprovisioned user accounts across the joiner, mover, leaver lifecycle. Can you see how the difference that reads? You could also put resolved authentication and MFA issues. Same work, correct language. Now, maybe you come from HR and onboarding roles. Well, you've run the people side of JML. You understand why day one access matters and what happens when offboarding is sloppy. Possibly you've come from admin and operations. Well, that means you've done access requests. You would have done approvals, keeping records straight, chasing sign-offs. That's the process discipline IAM teams run on. So I want you to go through your history line by line and ask yourself, where did I touch accounts? Where did I touch access, approvals, or records? Then rewrite those lines in identity language. You're not embellishing anything, you're translating. Next up, certifications. What's worth it? This is an important part. It's a question I get asked a lot, what certifications I should take. So if you're targeting Microsoft environments, which in Australia, for example, is most of them, SC300, the Microsoft Identity and Access Administrator cert. It's the highest single identity cert you can get as a beginner. It maps directly to the day job. Now, if you saw my roadmap video, you already know my take on Security Plus, and it hasn't changed. It's a fine general foundation. It's what you should do when you're getting into cybersecurity. But on its own, it will never get you necessarily an IAM interview. If IAM is your target, I would be looking to do the S300 after your Security Plus. It will be very valuable to you, and I highly recommend it. Now, Okta certifications are worth it only if your local market is full of Okta shops. Again, read the job ads first, then pick the cert. So when I say read the job ads, do a search online to the areas that you're looking for these roles. Have a look what it says. What are these type of roles look like to you? Do you need Okta? Do you need Microsoft? Have a look at what you need, and that can plan what certifications and path you go down. And hear this. Now, one relevant cert plus 3 projects beats 4 certifications and no proof. I've watched cert stacking resumes lose to a candidate with a documented home lab more times than I can count. So please do not delay applying while you collect badges. Okay, moving on to the interview questions to expect. Now, when you get the interview, entry-level IAM interviews are normally very scenario heavy. 3 you should prepare for. A manager asks you to fast track full access for a new starter, skipping approval. What do? Now, they're testing whether you'll hold process under pressure. The winning answer balances helpfulness with control. I want you to find the urgent subset they need, get the right approval fast, never just quietly grant it. Here's another question. You find an account belonging to someone who left 3 months ago and it's been logging in. Walk through it calmly, disable first, then escalate to security to investigate the logins. Then ask the bigger question, which is why offboarding missed it. That last part, fixing the process and not just the account, is what separates candidates. Let's give you one more example. A hiring manager may ask, a senior person refuses to give up admin access in an access review. This is a communication test. Risk explained without jargon. Escalation path used properly, no cowboy moves. Notice none of these questions are technical trivia. They're more judgment, they're more process and the communication, and that's the actual job. So let's talk about your 30-day plan. Let's make this concrete. I want you to listen to this, write notes if you have to, go back and watch it. This is your 30-day plan. Week 1, set up job alerts with every title and tool name from earlier and read 20 IAM jobs in your market so you know which stack dominates. Weeks 2 and 3, build the 3 projects and write them up. Week 4, rewrite your resume in identity language and start applying. Even to roles asking for a year of experience, because in IAM, those ads still get thin applicants. If you want the full system around this, the resume template, the application strategy, and the proof of framework for every beginner cybersecurity path, my job ready blueprint is linked in the description. It's a 90-day plan of how to break into cybersecurity. And if you haven't seen the IAM roadmap video yet, watch it. I highly recommend it. I'll leave it in the description because it covers what to learn, while this one covered how more to get hired. They're 2 halves of the same plan. Comment IAM with your background and I'll tell you which of your existing skills already translate. I hope you found this helpful. Once again, I appreciate the support. Pull a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. As always, thanks for watching. Keep leveling up your career. I'll see you in the next video.